Cissé. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social. This is the Liverpool at home match preview, and I am your boy Maz, and I'm joined by Ben, and no Jack again, which is usually the other way round, but Ben's been the most consistent guy in the world recently, somehow. Don't know
Jack's the one getting drunk in Benidorm, not me.
Yeah. For anyone who's missing Jack or wondering where he is out in Benidorm, living life in the sun. So yeah, can't blame the guy. But he will be back for post Liverpool. So yeah, he will be back for that hopefully. But Ben,
it did
how
look
are you,
like
mate?
a good stag do though, didn't it? They played one of those games where it was like fines. You got one of your mates gets dressed up as something. You have to find them at Benidorm or find them somewhere, and they were all dressed as seagulls, and the stag was dressed as chips, which looked quite funny. They had quite a few different nights which looked really good because they all brought quite a lot of them go to the Brighton games. So he's in Benidorm, and then we asked him the question actually because obviously he wasn't at the Wolves game. I said, how long has it been since you last missed the Brighton game? And he said 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's mad.
So he doesn't miss Brighton games for a lot, so he must be a really, really good mate for Jack to miss a Brighton game for someone's stag. So fair play, but that's mental though. 2.5 years without a game is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. That is some dedication. So yeah, we can allow him for not being on the pod for a couple of shows. But yeah, hopefully he will be back for post Liverpool. But Ben, how are you, mate? How's things?
Things are good, mate. Busy bee. Getting a nice little tan at the moment because the sun's been so good. So can't complain. When you get a tan, it puts you up a couple spots in the scale. So yeah, we're looking good, feeling good, having fun, mate.
Doesn't work for me clearly, but yeah.
I was born this way.
Yeah. No, I'm saying even with a tan, I'm screwed anyway. So, but no, good to know that you're enjoying the sun. Yeah, it's been beautiful actually. I was in Sheffield and Sunderland this week for the playoff semi-finals. That was incredible. I can't lie. The Sunderland game was genuinely one of the best things I've witnessed live. Even as a neutral, it was just mental. And I even turned up. So I was standing there and I was just chatting to some random Sunderland fan, and I've just gone. I went, Ballard's going to score here. He's going to score, and he's like, "Do you reckon?" I was like, "I've got a weird feeling." And I genuinely called it, and it's just gone into him, bullet header. And it was just absolute limbs.
The limbs, wow.
Oh, mate.
That shot honestly, from Sky Sports, the broadcast, when it pans the stand and they're all just, all you can see is, that is crazy.
So I was, annoyingly, I wasn't in that stand, but I was in the one, in the main grandstand. But even there, it was crazy. People jumping on each other. And yeah, just one thing. The reason why I brought it up was because I was going to say, first of all, I'd quite like to see Sunderland in the Premier League. Purely because they're rival with Newcastle and their fans as well. They've got some unbelievable fans. But yeah, the atmosphere they can generate in that stadium is crazy.
Can't be asked for that. I can't be asked for Sheffield United in the Premier again.
No,
I think a lot of people don't want that to happen. I'm looking at that.
No, 100%. But one thing I think I took away was that it's how much it means to people, especially up north. I feel like football means it is life or death, and I think that was the perfect example. And I just want us to have a little bit of that as well. I think as Brighton fans, maybe we can do a little bit more. When you see these teams in these stadiums, I know it was a big game and it was a massive, it was one of those games where it was going to create atmosphere regardless. But it'd be nice to have that kind of raw and that, that atmosphere that you get at the Amex. But it's still, work in progress. Do you know what I mean? Work in progress. But anyway,
work in progress, definitely.
Yeah, but enough about other clubs. Let's talk about Brighton. Of course, we are playing the champions of the Premier League, Liverpool. Now, Ben, anyone if you live under a rock, you probably won't know. But Liverpool have been away. I think they've been to Ibiza, they've been to Dubai, they've been all over the gaff. Arnie Slot cutting shapes with Wayne Lineker, and then you've got the boys out in the Dubai beaches living the dream. So hopefully, Ben, they're going to be off their nut coming to the Amex. So that'd be great.
I mean, we know about benders, and we definitely do. I know that it takes a few days to recover. And reportedly, they're meant to be getting back on Friday. So they're going to be very jaded come Monday night, aren't they? Especially if they're training beforehand. They're going to be cooked.
You'd like to think they're going to be off the rocker.
Yeah. Either that or Slot's going to play a mixed team that didn't go to Dubai for Trent's leaving due. I don't know. I mean, either way, they will be weaker. This worries me because if we then still don't beat them, there's a lot of pressure on us to beat them now because this whole narrative that they're going to turn up drunk will be laughed at if we don't beat them, or at least get a point against them. Because but all the pictures, they're just, every picture I see is them with a cocktail in their hand. I've seen Salah walking in his sandals and his shirt coming through the hotel lobby of Szoboszlai. It's look like they've been out on the beds for 10 hours drinking cocktails. Obviously Salah doesn't, but so Salah's going to be the sharpest person, surely. I mean, he might have a few late nights under his belt, but he'd be like you. He's having these times. You'll be able to tell me, Maz, actually, because you go out sober. So do you still feel jaded after a few days out?
I think depending on what time you get back, let's say he gets back at like 4 or 5 in the morning, you are naturally going to feel tired and fatigued. But yeah, obviously you don't have to deal with a hangover, and you don't have to deal with that side of things. But no, I think definitely if he's going, like, they're going out to like early mornings, 3 or 4 days in a row, you are going to feel it for sure. So yeah, I sometimes have that placebo effect. If I'm out for a long periods of time, like if I get home like 4 or 5 in the morning, I get that placebo effect of as if I've been out, and I wake up the next morning like all groggy and like weird and stuff. So yeah, but no, on that note, Ben, that's interesting. You talk about the team selection, because that'll be interesting to see where he does go for like a younger side and, plays the fringe players, so to speak, like the Darwin Núñez's, the Chiesas, who else have been fringe players, like the Quansas, those kind of players, or whether, because I don't know if you know this, is Salah still chasing is he top goal scorer in the Premier League?
No, it's Haaland by 1, then Wood behind him. I think he is chasing one record though, but I can't remember what it is.
Right, because that could be the big thing. If he's chasing something, they'll be like, Salah, you start, get in there from the off, try and get a goal, get some goals for yourself. So, but yeah, how do you see Slot going into this game? Because obviously against Chelsea, as well as Arsenal, they obviously got bopped by Chelsea, and then they drew against Arsenal, went 2-0 up, and then at half-time Arsenal made a comeback. They have been off it for the last couple of games. Do you feel like they might now think, right, 2 more games to go, we can sort of keep going at this sort of steady rate? Or do you reckon they'll switch it and be like, nah, do you know what? We are champions, let's have a bit of pride and let's go out, let's keep trying to win?
I don't know, but after 2 disappointing results that you've mentioned, well, especially, Arsenal and Chelsea, you wouldn't then think, if they were going to then take it serious, they're not going to go out to Dubai and Slot's not going to be with Wayne Lineker, are they? You think they would save that? So yeah, that maybe that kind of tells me that they probably are still on the beach, and they just really could not give a shit about winning any more games, at least. So we know that Trent's probably not going to start because he didn't start against Arsenal. I can't remember if he started against Chelsea, but I don't know if his decision to leave was official then. But yeah, I think we know that he won't be in the team. I feel like Salah probably will start. Yeah, but you are right. Chiesa probably will get some minutes because he's been missing, hasn't he? I think it's funny about Chiesa. I think he was the only signing they made in the summer, so he's going to win like the signing of the season, even though he's
and a Premier League title as well.
Yeah, Premier League title. Yeah, so he's had a great time, just like kicking him out with the under-23s and stuff, just living his life in Liverpool. But yeah, well, I can't remember what the question was, but how are they going to be taking it seriously? I'd probably not. I think they're probably just on the beach now for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they are going to go into it not really caring what the result is, to be honest with you. But sometimes that makes teams dangerous, right? Like if they go into it just knowing that they can just play with freedom and they don't take it too seriously. Because sometimes, you've seen sometimes this season with Liverpool, when they've had like these crunch games, don't get me wrong, they've got through a majority of them, but they have looked shaky at times when they know the stakes are high. But when it seems like the stakes are a bit lower, they're like, actually, we're chilled here. We've got freedom to play. They can sort of just do what they want. So it's a bit of a weird one. I feel like it sometimes can work against you. Sometimes it can work in our favour. Hopefully it's going to be working in our favour. But yeah, sometimes when there's nothing on the line, they're like, do you know what? Let's just go play out and play ball and just play. And sometimes they do come out and play football and it can be detrimental for us. But yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be second string Liverpool. We're going to see a lot of hungover faces. And hopefully we'll see a Wilson, when Wilson puked on the pitch. Hopefully we'll see that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it won't be the first time someone throws up at the Amex, that's for sure.
Amex, yeah. But then, final question, Ben, before we get on to predictions and stuff. What I wanted to know from you is, what do you see...
Will I boo Trent?
Yeah, that's number one. Are you going to boo Trent? And number two
if any Brighton fans are listening... Sorry, we should all just cheer Trent, I think, just to wind up the Liverpool fans. So I wonder if they'll be booing in the away end again if he does come on and get minutes. So
I'm sure they will.
You think the people that go away are that core fan base that have the right morals, And it seems that Liverpool's morals are very, very mixed, aren't they? Some people really couldn't care. Some people really are angry. And some people are kind of maybe happy for him to go or happy for him. Yeah, they don't really care. So it'll be interesting to see what the away fans react when he gets the ball or comes on, because he was getting booed when he was in possession of the football, which is mental.
Yeah, that's
really,
insane.
really poor. Really poor.
Yeah, that is mental. Yeah, that's a good shot actually. Let's all cheer him when he's on the ball. That'd be funny. Or just all of us have like Real Madrid flags or something. That would really.
Hello Madrid. Oh my god, that would be really good. Right, flags everywhere.
Yeah, but then my final question, Ben, before we do predictions, is with regards to our approach. Obviously, we've had a lot of players coming back now. There's still European football on the line. However, by the time we play Liverpool, we are going to know whether 8th position is European football or not, because of course Crystal Palace do play on Saturday. So forget that though for the time being. Let's say European football is still on the line. How do you see our approach going into this one? Who would you like to see start? Obviously, Gruder's been fantastic recently. A few players off the bench have trying to stake their claim, or would you go unchanged? And also, a few players coming back. Voltman, obviously, I think now fit, but obviously, Matoma, players like that. Yeah, how do you...
Is Zhao back from his suspension? Or is he still...
Yes, yes, I want to say. Let me just double check that. I know it was definitely done 2. I don't know whether the last game was 3rd or whether the next one is. Let me just double check.
Christ, my brain. Because I guess you would want Zhao to come straight in. But I mean, speaking of Zhao, whilst you're looking, he's obviously an admirer. I hate it when these journalists use these different words. Like Liverpool are flirting with the idea, and they're admirers of this person. It's like I saw one reporter saying at Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool admirers of João Pedro. I mean, I'm an admirer of Margot Robbie. I mean, I don't really know what that word means. It's just, does that mean you want them or you just like them? I don't really get that. But Liverpool are interested in João Pedro, so it'd be interesting if he does get minutes in front of them.
He is
a little
back.
audition for him, maybe.
Yeah.
He's back. Would I want him to start? Yes, maybe let's use this. If he is going to leave, let's use this as a tool for us. We can make this beneficial for us. If we play João Pedro, he'll want to impress them and he'll probably give it his all. So maybe that would be a big benefit for us if he does play. We know that he can step up in big games for us. So I'll definitely get João straight back in. Otherwise, I really liked it. I mean, Weaver's got to start. I'm really happy that he's now getting this form finally. Fans are starting to like him now, obviously after everything that happened earlier in the season against Wolves. I'd love to see Weaver start again. So I don't think too many changes from Wolves, really. I can't think of who would come out with João Pedro, though. Maybe you can help me with that one. Because obviously Welbeck started, didn't he?
Well, yeah. So obviously, Riley, Welbeck, Minter, and who else? Who started on the right?
Do you sacrifice Riley then and have João behind Welbs, maybe?
Do you know what? I've quite liked O'Reilly recently. I've quite liked him. He's looking a bit more confident, a bit more, he likes to get on the ball. He's a good passer of the ball. He works hard. Like, he was really good on the press as well. So, I don't know. I quite like him. I probably would go unchanged just because we did look really solid against Wolves, especially defensively. I quite like Lamptey giving that extra coverage, a right wing back / whatever he was, for Weaver. I really like that. So, I'd probably go unchanged. And then, to have the options off the bench is incredible. Matoma, if he's going to come off the bench, then you've got João Pedro off the bench. You're going to have some serious players come off the bench. Gruder, Gomez. It's going to be stacked. So I'd leave it unchanged for now, personally, and then see what happens. But Ben, we have got a decent record against Liverpool. Not maybe recently, because they have beaten us in the last 3 attempts.
Before this season,
before this season, we beat them 3-0 at home, 2-1 at home in the FA Cup, drew with them 2-2, and then they've beaten us the last 3 attempts. But
the one at home in the Carabao Cup, that was quite impressive when they beat us 3-2. I remember we came back, didn't we, in that? We weren't exactly out of the game for that one, so hopefully. Yeah,
I think it went 3-2 Lamptey, wasn't it? And then it was 3-1 and then 3-2, and then we just couldn't get the third, sadly. But predictions then, Ben, knowing all that we know, a half decent record against them. They might be on the beach. How are you feeling going into this one?
I'm feeling confident. I am. I mean, it'll be really impressive for them to come back from this Dubai holiday and Slot to come. I mean, Slot's not going to be on the pitch, but he's obviously been in Ibiza and stuff like that. I don't know what he was celebrating. Be interesting to see how they all fare. And surely they're not going to be feeling sharp. And We historically like to play against these teams that like to play football, and we do well against these teams that like to play football. So that gives me a lot of confidence. I'm going to say we're going to win, especially because we're really fighting for Europe. Let's say that obviously City have beaten Palace. We're still fighting for Europe come Monday.
8-0.
It's 8-0, yeah, easy. 8-0 in the first 10 minutes. Perfect. And yeah, I think we can win. I think we'll win 2-0, Maz.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think, they are going to have the effects of their holidays. I think they're going to come into it a bit like, we won the league. We've got nothing else to play for. Let's just go out there and have fun. But then there's that little thing I said earlier, that little bit of me of just like, because they are going into it with that mindset, they could potentially, cause us a few problems. They're just playing football. They're just balling without any care in the world. And sometimes you get the best out of players in that sense. So yeah, a little bit worried, but I agree with you. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win. Brighton Hove Albion 2-1. And yeah, just pray that Saturday doesn't happen.
Jesus
against
Christ.
us. Because it's the double whammy, isn't it? I was actually deep in it the other day. I was speaking to someone. I was deep in it because not only do they win their first ever trophy or major silverware, they also deny us getting into Europe. So it's like a double just stab in the...
Double jeopardy.
Yeah, it's not good, mate. It's not looking good, Brad. But
it's not
pray for City. Pray for City, boys. Everyone pray.
Yeah, please.
Please.
Oh no, I'll be wearing...
Right, without further ado then, Ben. Thank you everyone for listening to the match preview. I know it was a bit of a weird match preview because it felt like, Liverpool don't really have anything to play for, so it's a bit of a tough one to preview, really. But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple, please do leave us a review and keep streaming it, keep listening to all our content. We really appreciate your guys' support, and we shall see you for post Liverpool, which will be on Tuesday. And fingers crossed, things are looking good. Just pray,
please.
Please.
If we imagine we're going to come back here, we'll know. The next time they hear from us, we'll know.
We'll know.
If our club's
has anyone got a voodoo
we'll
doll? If anyone's got a voodoo doll, get to work.
Anything. Cross everything you have right now.
Yeah, please.